All right, let's just jump right in. Here's the thing. Most people are using AI completely wrong. Yeah, they're treating it like a simple chatbot, a glorified search engine, but the top 1%, they're playing a totally different game. So today, we're going to unpack the 9 skills you need to join them, even if you're starting from absolute zero.
And it's actually way simpler than you'd think to get ahead. Why? Because 99% of people are just barely scratching the surface of what's possible. They're asking for, recipes and poems, while other people are out there building entire systems.
So what's their secret? Well, it really boils down to 9 specific skills, and we're going to break them down into 3 phases. First, mastering the conversation, then polishing to perfection, and finally, building your AI engine. By the end of this, you're going to have the entire playbook.
So let's kick things off with phase 1. Look, before you can build anything cool, you have to learn how to talk to the AI. And this isn't just about asking simple questions. It's about having a real, productive dialogue to get world-class results. This brings us to skill number 1, prompt engineering. Now, every single great prompt is built on 4 pillars. First up, you have to define the role. You tell the AI, hey, act as a top-tier marketer, or a lawyer, or a leadership expert. This just narrows its focus. Second, you got to provide context. The more you tell it about your situation, the better the response is going to be. Third, give it a clear command. Be brutally specific about what you need. And fourth, specify the format. Do you want bullet points, a table, a PDF? And hey, here's a little cheat code for you. Give it an example of a world-class output, so it can just copy that style.
But you know what? Even with a perfect prompt, you need skill number 2, and that is taste curation. The absolute ultimate skill in this new world is simply knowing what great looks like, sounds like, and feels like. The AI can generate 100 names for your new product, but it takes your taste to pick the one that's actually going to work. As Ben Affleck once said, art is knowing when to stop. That right there, that's taste.
So how do you actually develop it? Well, first, you create a taste library. Go on YouTube, watch winning startup pitches. Check out the code from the most popular projects on GitHub. Basically, curate a collection of world-class examples. Second, work on your communication. Just using the word leader instead of boss will get you a completely different and way better output. And third, lock it all in with some universal rules. Things like write in 9th grade English or keep all the sentences short. My personal favorite is no em dashes. That long dash some writers use? It just keeps the writing so much cleaner.
This leads us perfectly into skill number 3, creating a master prompt. Listen, if ChatGPT sounds like a complete stranger, it's probably because you haven't properly introduced yourself yet. So here's how you do it. First, ask the AI to act as an interviewer and just ask you everything it needs to know for your role. Second, answer those questions in detail. Use the voice-to-text feature on your phone and just ramble. And here's the real trick. Ask it to generate the final master prompt and then save it as a PDF. This makes it like a future-proof digital ID you can upload to any AI, new or old.
And that brings us right into phase 2. Now that the AI knows who you are, it's time to refine its output. This is where you stop being just a user and you start becoming a true collaborator.
Which leads to skill number 4, output iteration. Most people get an output and they just say, good enough. The pros, they don't do that. Get this, for just one Christmas commercial, Coca-Cola used 70,000 AI prompts. 70,000! That's what it means to fight for the output and iterate until it's perfect. So how do you iterate like that? Well, you have to treat the output like a piece of clay, just sculpting it until it's exactly what you want. Don't just say, make it punchier. Say something like, open with a strong reframe that talks about X, Y, and Z. And here's a little-known feature that'll help. Ask the AI to write in a canvas. This creates this document right inside the chat where you can lock in the parts you like and manually tweak the other parts. It's an absolute game changer.
Okay, so once you've iterated to perfection, you need skill number 5, system prompts. Now let's be super clear on the difference here. A master prompt tells the AI who you are. That's your context. A system prompt tells the AI how to behave. Those are your instructions.
And this is the mind-blowing part. AI is the first technology ever that's not programmed with computer code. It's programmed with words. This means that anyone, and I mean anyone, who can speak a language is now effectively an AI programmer. You program it through these system prompts. But hey, great work is never created in an echo chamber. That's why you need skill number 6, using AI as a critic. See, AI is designed to be a people pleaser, but you need it to expose your blind spots.
So ask it to act as a devil's advocate to really stress test your assumptions. Then ask it to break down its criticism using first principles. And here's the key. If you agree with an insight it gives you, tell the AI to update your master prompt. That way, it actually learns from its own critique. How cool is that?
All right, now for the final phase. Let's see how all this stuff builds into a scalable, personalized system for long-term success. This is all about creating your own personal AI engine.
This brings us to skill 7, context compression. Believe it or not, you can actually give an AI too much information. I once tried to feed my system 2 million words of raw context. It's too much for it to process effectively. It just gets confused.
So the solution is pre-processing. I use the AI to compress those 2 million words down into 200,000 words of really focused, detailed, and specific knowledge. You basically have the AI prepare the meal before you ask it to do the cooking.
Now, with all this compressed knowledge, you need skill number 8, knowledge-based gardening. A messy mind creates messy prompts, right? So you need to develop 3 habits. 1, create a project folder for each and every initiative. 2, upload both your master prompt and your compressed context into that folder. And 3, keep your best system prompts organized as PDFs so you can easily switch between different AI platforms.
And this brings us to the final skill, and honestly, this has been the biggest game changer for me personally. Skill number 9, personalized learning. The AI isn't just a tool, it's literally the future of education.
Here's just how simple it is. You tell the AI a topic and how much time you have. For example, teach me about the history of AI, I've got about 7 minutes. Then ask it to explain in simple language, like you're talking to a 7th grader. Then you just hit the little play icon, pop in your earbuds, and listen to your own personal podcast on literally any topic while you're at the gym or walking the dog. It's incredible.
So what does this all really add up to? Well, putting these 9 skills together requires one final crucial shift in how you think. This is what truly separates the beginner from the top 1%.
This slide says it all. ChatGPT is not just a chatbot. That's just one tiny use case. It is a creative operating system. So stop using it for simple little tasks. Start using it to co-create, to see your own blind spots, and to have the conversations you've been putting off. When you stop playing in beginner mode and you start applying these skills, AI makes you an expert in learning and in creating. The 99%, they aren't using it this way. But now you can. So the only question left is, what are you going to build with your new operating system?